We're now going to explore the new world of parametric design in AutoCAD 2010. This is specific to AutoCAD 2010 and is available in the Parametric tab here on the ribbon. Now what we have are geometric constraints and dimensional constraints. We're going to look at geometric constraints first. Dimensional constraints will follow later. So what we've got a light here on the lighting layer, and we've got our red walls here. What we want is this light to remain central to this room no matter what happens to the walls of the room. So we're going to place a geometric horizontal constraint first here. So I click here and come into the drawing area. It prompts me to select an object to constrain to, or if I right click now and go to 2 points, notice the little blue horizontal line there, that indicates a horizontal constraint. So the 2 points I'm going to go for are the midpoint of this wall here, and then I hover over the light and get the center of the light and left click again. That horizontally constrains my light. I now need to vertically constrain it, so I go back up here to geometric. There's the vertical constraint. Notice the vertical blue line. Right click, 2 points. My first point will be here, the midpoint of this wall. Second point, center of the light again. That now constrains the light to the center of the room. Now the good thing is, on the geometric panel here, I can hide all of those constraints now. A bit like switching a layer on or off, or freezing or thawing. So let's just roll out on the wheel mouse now, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to stretch this right hand edge of this building by 2 meters, or 2000 millimeters. So I'll go back to the Home tab, click on Stretch. Prompts me to select objects, so I'll do a crossing selection from there through to there, like that. What I'll do then is right click, and the base point, notice all the dimensional constraints appear. So if I go to Parametric now and just hide those for a moment, they won't disappear, and what happens is it bombs me out of the stretch command as well. So those constraints automatically appear when you're doing something like a stretch or a move. If I just click on show there like that, show dynamic constraints, they go again, as you can see. So let's go back now to the Home tab, and we'll repeat that stretch now. And I select the objects like so, and I right click to confirm. Now the base point, I'm just going to go for that endpoint snap there, left click, and just drag horizontally using my polar tracking. I'll type in 2000 as the distance and enter. It stretches by 2 meters, but look at what happens to the light. It remains central. That's the benefit of your geometric constraints in your parametric tab. Now what we can also do there is, let's have a look at these closets here, these walk-in closets. What I can do there is, if I now show all of the geometric constraints, look at all these collinear geometric constraints. There's plenty of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom in a bit and then hide them again. And I'm going to stretch this end here of this closet to make the doorway smaller. So I go back to the Home tab, I go back to Stretch, crossing selection there, right click to confirm. If I go for that midpoint there and left click and drag this way, I'm going to make that 300 longer. Look, because it was constrained to here with a collinear constraint, this closet has also resized below. So these constraints are very clever. They automate processes so that you don't have to be repetitive. So let's go to View now, and I'm going to do a Zoom Extents, and there's our property there. And what I'm going to do, just roll back on the wheel mouse one more notch, and then I'm going to go to Parametric here and show my dynamic constraints. Now dynamic constraints are based around dimensional settings. So you can see there that all of these walls, the thicknesses, are guided by dimensional constraints. I'm going to click on D1 here and select it. Notice it's locked at the moment until I right click and go to Edit Constraint. I can then edit that as if it was single line text or multi-line text. I'm going to double click in there. I'm going to make my wall thicknesses 200. So my D1 value becomes 200. As soon as I press enter there, notice the wall thicknesses change. They've now all changed in line with the 200 of the D1 dimensional constraint there. So as you can see, these constraints allow you to work very quickly and automate processes that might make you more repetitive and slower.